The go home Monday Night Raw for Survivor Series War Games is in the books, and I want to start adding Raw and SmackDown reviews to the channel, but I want to get them a little bit more condensed. I know that there's some great podcasters out there that go, 30, 40, 2 hours on Monday Night Raw. I'm going to try and condense it to a 20-minute review. And the way that I want to do that is I'm going to go through Bleacher Report. They top to bottom article on the show, they give it grades. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on everything that happened on the show. And of course, that begins with the Gunther promo as well. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this idea? So Gunther comes out and, Jackie Redmond in the squared circle, in the middle of the ring, ready to talk to Gunther. He's kind of losing his confidence. I'm not really digging this storyline. I get it. The pressure of being a champion is getting to him, kind of the way that all the pressure of everything against Damian Priest at SummerSlam was there. I fully get it, but I want my ring general to be the ring general, Gunther. And I just, I like it better when he's a cocky piece of shit. That's what I like out of him. So they have their confrontation. They get into a little bit of a brawl ski on the outside. Razor's Edge through the table. They gave it a B. I'm going to give it a C. Listen, Gunther and Priest, really solid competitors. It should be a fun match at Survivor Series. I fully expect Gunther to win at Survivor Series, but for me, this storyline just kind of felt like, we got Drew McIntyre losing Hell in a Cell. He's out of the picture. We're not at the point of John Cena returning yet. CM Punk, we're not doing that yet. What can we do for Survivor Series? Let's run back the SummerSlam match, and it'll be a fun match, but the build itself just hasn't been too hot for me. So we move forward, and then we have Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus American Made in a tornado tag team match. I actually really liked the ending of this match where Chad Gable got up on the ropes, flipped Rey's mask around Rey's blind, the roll through. It was overall a really good match, right? The Raw tag team division, once the show goes back to 3 hours, should really get some shine because there are some solid teams. I still hate the pepperoni pizza titles, but the Creeds, LWO with Rey and Dragon Lee. You have the Viking Raiders, the War Raiders, I should say. They're back to that. The Judgment Day, and even if the Judgment Day separates, I still think you could do JD and Finn as a tag team by themselves. It's just right now with this show being 2 hours, they're having to cut certain spots, and the tag team division doesn't get a full ton of shine. You still have AOP, by the way, the Wyatt Six. Like, it is a full tag team division. Just they have to be given the time to succeed and, really put some importance on those belts. They were defended on this show later, and we'll talk about that. But that's the first time in, it was like 160 days. There's been 2 defenses of those titles. Like, the 2-hour show is killing Raw for that purpose. And now they're bringing in a women's IC title. Like, 3 hours is desperately needed for the amount of championships and amount of storylines that you have on this show. But I thought the match was solid. B+, I agree with that rating. I think it's fair. I like that American Made won. Some people have suggested they go to SmackDown. I don't think it's fully necessary. I think that they can compete over on Raw, and Chad Gable in that IC title division is just fine. Then, backstage, we have a moment. Bianca, Rhea, Naomi. It's this whole thing of who's going to be the 5th woman, right? Now that Jade Cargill has been taken out and is injured, who is going to be the 5th woman? And Io says, can it be Kyrie? And Bianca's like, I already got you in from Damage Control, and that's just because you're so fucking good. But, I don't know if I could really be having Kyrie saying, and Naomi's like, what about Bailey? And Bianca's like, bruh, you not just listen to me? Damage Control, ruined my life for a year. I don't want her in here either. Naomi's like, you could trust her. Then Rhea comes in and is like, what are we doing? Bianca's like, we need that 5th woman. And Rhea's like, I don't care who it is. I want to get my hands on Liv. And Bianca's like, wow, you're a real great leader. A little bit of tension, a little bit of, is this going to be a potential match we see? I heard some murmurs online, all alleged, all speculation, that Jade Cargill will be out 3 months to a year. Meaning, if they were going to do Bianca and Jade at WrestleMania, plans may need to shift. They've never done Bianca Rhea on a big stage like that. It could be one of the biggest women's matches of all time. Would love that. I thought it was fine. Fine little segment. I'd give it like a B. Intercontinental Championship. I don't think this was this a title match? I guess it was. Obviously, the way that it ended, it was a kind of a fuck finish. So Braun Breaker and Ludwig Kaiser, who is dating Tiffany Stratton, if you didn't know, lucky man himself. But anyways, so Braun Breaker, Ludwig Kaiser have this match. They have a really interesting spot here where Braun Breaker does his run around the ring and, you know, get up to however many miles per hour, hit the spear spot. Kaiser moves out of the way and Breaker spears the announce table. I mean, this was a grueling spot. Look it up if you haven't seen it. I was like, what was the point of this spot? It was super cool, but I was like, geez, what a risk they are taking. I love Braun as the IC champion, and this match ended in a no contest. Sheamus comes out. You know, Kaiser cost Sheamus the title a couple weeks ago. Sheamus returning the favor to Kaiser. And now we have a triple threat match at Survivor Series. I love that these guys are getting the shine at Survivor Series. Breaker, Kaiser, Sheamus, like all really good in-ring competitors. Should be a banger. 2 rings. I can't wait to see what these guys do with the 2 rings, because triple threat match, I think they can really take advantage of it, whereas the US title match and the World Heavyweight title match won't do so. This match should take advantage of there being 2 rings. I want to see spots in both. Should be a fun match. I would have Breaker retain, but I'd have Sheamus take that title off of him before WrestleMania. My genuine thoughts right now are Braun Breaker retires Goldberg at WrestleMania. Sheamus defends the IC title against Drew McIntyre and wins, and then shortly after loses it to Bronson Reed at like Backlash or something. That's where I currently stand on that, but I thought this segment was good. I would give it a B+. Bleacher Report only gave it a B. I would give it a B+. I thought it was really, really good stuff and had me excited for the IC title match at Survivor Series War Games. And then we have a little bit of, you know, joking, but not joking. So Finn Balor attempted to kind of just get everybody to be like, Finn's the leader. You know, he's telling Liv and Raquel, you guys got to have that advantage. Talking to, you know, Dom, and was like, appreciate y'all for, softening up the War Raiders for us. And Finn trying to be like the leader here. I love Finn. The Judgment Day's cold, man. They're ice cold. R-Truth came in, and it was like this whole Finn, you're not invited to Thanksgiving thing. R-Truth hilarious, but my main takeaway from this is just I wish there was more for Finn Balor to do. I hope that they eventually lose those tag titles and Finn goes back into solo action, whether it's competing for world titles or competing for the IC title. Like, I just would prefer a Finn Balor singles run at this point. We also had Sami Zayn reveal that CM Punk and Roman Reigns will have a sit down on Friday, pre-recorded. Will be fun, but nothing too crazy there. All right, World Tag Team Championship match: the War Raiders versus Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Balor and McDonough retain here. I would have preferred the War Raiders to win. I'm just gonna say that flat out. I would have preferred the War Raiders to win. Obviously, the Judgment Day, they cheat, they do their thing, they, you know, fuck finish. It's cool, but I would, like I said, I think the War Raiders do more with those titles because they're hot right now. They're getting back to the war instead of that Viking BS that they were on. They are great in the ring. Ivar, remember that singles run he had when Eric went down with injury? What was that? Almost a year ago now. That was some really great stuff. And again, I just would rather move on from these titles on the Judgment Day and get into an actual story. Would love to have Finn Balor go off on a singles run, and it feels like a waste to have a talent like Finn stuck in this tag division. But hey, that's just my thoughts on it. They win. They gave it a B. I don't love the decision, but the match itself was fine. I guess I'd give it about a C+. Here we go. This is huge. This is huge. The New Day stuff. So next Monday, the 10 years of the New Day being celebrated. My expectation is Big E will be back for that. But let's talk about that. New Day versus Alpha Academy. The match itself was cool. Don't really need to talk about it much. Alpha Academy wins. New Day continues to lose. I loved the backstage segment between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. For me, that was the A+ of the night. That was the best spot. I mean, look at some of this. I was a Hall of Famer when you met me. Woods recalled Kingston's loss to Brock Lesnar, and it was just fucking chef's kiss. It was perfect. Where do we go from here next week? This is, one of the few things on this show that got me engaged for next week's Raw. Where do we go from here? That's the question. Two spots, two ways I think we can go. One, I think we could potentially have Big E kind of come in and act in more of a managerial role and try and resolve the New Day things for, the purposes of let's get more tag teams in this division. Let's try and, revamp the New Day, push them in the tag division if that's the spot they want to go. I think they could go that way. I would go this other way. Do you guys remember the Evolution reunion show? Man, that was around WrestleMania 35, where Randy Orton and Triple H are in the ring, and backstage Batista was just mauling Ric Flair, and it set up to Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania. I would have Xavier Woods attack Big E. Now, I don't know in what capacity Big E can be attacked with a neck injury. Maybe they have to do it backstage where, we find that Woods had already beat him down and he's kind of just more so laying down and we see a couple kicks or whatever. If possible, I'd love for it to happen in the ring. I'd love for Kingston to just be shook, not know what to do, and it set up a feud for those two. That would be ideal. Xavier Woods goes heel. That would be a huge moment. Put a huge amount of emphasis on this storyline, and you put Woods heel in that IC title division. I think you got something cooking. But I love that. That was the highlight of the night for me. And then we have the War Games Advantage match. Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax. Good match, fun match. Belair gets the win because Bayley comes out and kind of in a way shows her, loyalty to being good and being a face, and is like, hey, Bianca, let me show you, I could help you. You could trust me. And Bayley, going to likely be the 5th member of the War Games match for this women's team. Bayley, this was set to be the first War Games match on the main roster that Bayley hadn't competed in, but we get her in there. I still think that Naomi is the one who attacked Jade, and I think that it makes sense because Jade was on her side of the U.S. women's title bracket. And then when Naomi wins the title, if she wins it by going heel at Saturday night's main event, or if Bayley wins it and then Naomi turns on her and goes heel, I think that'll all kind of coincide and make a ton of sense. Although some are speculating that Bianca was the one who did it to Jade, and I wouldn't fully count it out, but I lean Naomi. Anyways, we get Bayley added to the War Games match as we expected. I do want to touch on this, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I'm excited that it's going to be added. I think it was good. I think it's good that they did add it. We're going to have another tournament, and that's fine. Some early names, Lyra, Kyrie, Dakota. Those are some names that I would like to see contend for this thing. I'd like Natalya to be in the tournament just because IC title, Hart family, etc. But, those are my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. Got it to you in just about 15 minutes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What did you love about the show? What did you not love? I appreciate y'all's support. Hit the subscribe button if you love the WWE. Got the podcast coming out with Deli this week. We'll do the same thing Friday night for SmackDown. That'll probably go up Saturday around noon. And then I'll be here Sunday. Same exact thing, talking War Games. Appreciate y'all. I'll catch you next time. Peace.